Happy Monday. So we are in your new textbooks that you picked up on Friday. If you didn't get a textbook on Friday because you weren't here, they're over in the box along the wall by the bins that you turn your homework into. Speaking of which, don't forget that your blue sheet that we did on Friday, that is also due at this time. So make sure that you take that over at some point in time today to the basket and turn that in for credit. Okay, we will be in your textbook today. We're going to start actually on page number 9. Okay, so we're going to start on page 9. I would like you to do the retrieval. The retrieval here is I want you to graph y equals negative 2x plus 8 on the first one, and then I want you to graph x plus y equals 7 on the second one. So first off, you can create a graph or a table if you want. I'm okay if you don't, but for sure I want you to graph it. Okay? Then second, I want you to tell me what the x-intercept is and what the y-intercept is third for both of them. You can either circle them on the graph or in your table or both, or you can write them off to the side. I will give you, or the sub should give you 5 minutes now to do that. So this one has a y-intercept of 8. That's my y equals mx plus b. If I go y equals mx plus b, then that means that at 0, 8, that would be one of my intercepts. This would be the y-intercept. Which would be at 8 right there. Okay? Then a slope of negative 2 means that I'm going to go down 2 and right 1. So that means at 1, I would be at 6. Down 2 on the y values, right 1 on the x one. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right. Oops, tap the brakes. Yes, that's what I did that right. That then would be my x-intercept because it's got where my y is 0. And I can keep following that down. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. There it is again. There is my x-intercept. And I can keep going on. Down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, all the way. Because remember, we want these to go all the way across our graphs. Then we connect them. With a nice straight line. And then we could always go back and identify it on our graph right there and right there. Those are our x and y intercepts. And we can always say the x-intercept is 4, 0. And the y-intercept is 0, 8. Okay? Both ways of doing that. X plus y equals 7. So again, if I want to get it in y equals mx plus b form, I've got x plus y equals 7. That's going to be y equals negative x plus 7 because I'm going to have to subtract an x from both sides. Now it's in y equals mx plus b form. So 0, 7 is my y-intercept. And down 1, right 1. I don't know why my video just stopped there. Okay. Down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, all the way through. Going all the way across the graph, all the way up. draw in our line. Oh man, it became dotted. I forgot to make it solid. Oh, my Lanta. There we go. Solid line. And then we got, there's our y-intercept. There's our x-intercept. So again, we could go over here. So we're going right one while we're going down one. We're going right one while we're going down one. We're going right one while we're going down one, and so on and so forth. We can get all the way down to 7, 0. So these would be in table form. There they are sitting there. And it would also be love it. Okay. So today what we're going to do is we're going to solve systems of linear equations. We've been doing this in the boot camp days, Thursday and Friday of last week. So now we're just going to put a little extra storyboard to it, if you will. Okay. So the Martinez twins, Carlos and Clarita, I think we've met Carlos and Clarita a couple of times throughout the course of the year, are trying to find a way to make money during summer vacation. When they overhear their aunt complaining about how difficult it is to find someone to care for her pets while she will be away from her trip, they know that they have found the perfect solution. Not only do they have a large unused storage shed on their property where they can house animals, they also have a spacious fenced backyard where the pets can play. Carlos and Clarita need to clean the storage shed where they plan to board the pets. They have decided to hire a company to clean the windows. After collecting the following information, they have come to you for help in deciding which window cleaning company they should hire. So first off, their first choice is Sunshine Express Window Cleaners, and it charges $50 for each service call plus $10 per window. Painless Window Cleaners is the other one that they got a quote from, charges $25 for each service call, but they also charge $15 per window. My question to you, and at your table, I would like your table to now discuss which company you would recommend and why. Come up with a sound argument as to why you want to go with them and be able to justify it too. I'll give you 4 minutes to discuss. 4 minutes. So some justifications for this one. If you wanted to go with Sunshine, hold on, let me extend my page and then bring it back down. If you wanted to go with Sunshine, they charge more to start. So they charge more just to come to your place, but they also are less per window. Sorry, that's a bad double S right there. So you save money there. Okay, so that could be part of yours. The painless charges less to come out, but more per window. So those are some reasons that you could recommend for them and some justifications, if you will. Moving on, another scenario. Now the windows are clean. Now they want to have the frames repainted to make the storage shed look more appealing to potential customers. They have decided to hire a company to paint the windows. Again, they need your help in deciding which painter it should be. Paint by Numbers charges $100 for sanding the frames and masking the windows with tape, and then $16 per hour for painting, since different employees do different parts of the work. Paint It Right charges $24 for all of the labor plus a $38 disposal fee. Okay? Which company would you recommend and why? Again, give you 4 minutes here to discuss which Paint by Numbers or Paint It Right company you would go with, excuse me. Once again, it all really depends on how many windows you have, because Paint by Numbers, so let's go numbers here. Paint by Numbers charges more right off the start, but charges less per hour. Paint It Right charges nothing for the prep. Oops, that should be prep, not pred. Nothing for the prep, but just flat out charges you more per hour. And they also charge you a disposal fee. So again, it all depends really on how many windows you have as to how long the job is going to take. Okay? Let's get into some more stuff here now. Both paint companies allow the customer to purchase their own paint and supply. Carlos has done some research and found the following information. Handyman Tool and Supply sells a small painter's kit that contains 2 paint brushes and 4 rolls of masking tape for $16. They also sell a large painter's kit that contains 5 paint brushes and 15 rolls of masking tape for $50. Okay. Carlos's dad is planning to paint a couple of rooms in their house and has offered to buy any leftover supplies. Carlos is trying to figure out how much he would charge his dad for each paintbrush and each roll of tape. To keep track of the information, he has written the following equations. Clarita looks at Carlos's notes and asks, what do P and the R stand for? Well, if we look back up here into our 2 paintbrushes, 4 rolls of tape, $16. They also sell 5 paintbrushes, and 15 rolls of tape, So P in this equation, or in this system, P is paintbrushes. The cost for 1 paintbrush. R in this scenario is the roll of tape cost. Okay. I think that was it for that slide. Oh, yep, so we just answered that question. Okay. Now they're saying we can find the values of P and R using a table or a graph, and we can use it using algebra. Okay? So we want to solve this system of equations using both a graphical strategy and an algebraic strategy. So there are my equations again. Here is the graph that's in your book. Now, P and R are different for us. Okay, so if you'll notice, R they have as the X value because it says so right down here, and P is the Y, the vertical axis. So if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to make this be Y equals mx plus b to graph this, I'm really going to make this be P equals M R plus B, because P is my Y, R is my X. So I need to solve both of these equations for P in order to graph them without using a table. If I do that, then I would go 2P plus 4R equals 16. I want to solve for P, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 4R. That's going to give me 2P equals negative 4R plus 16. Then I'm going to divide everywhere by 2. That's going to give me P equals negative 2R plus 8. So my quote y-intercept is positive 8. My slope is negative 2. We call that negative 2 over 1. So that would be down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. That would be my part. And I don't need to go anywhere outside of that quadrant because I can't have negative rolls of tape and I can't have negative paint brushes. So I'm just looking right there. Then my second one would be 5P plus 15R equals 50. Again, want to solve that for P. So now it's going to be subtract 15R. So then that gives me 5P equals negative 15R plus 50. Divide everything by 5. And that gives me P here is equal to negative 3R plus 10. That gives me a y-intercept of positive 10, but now I'm going to go down 3 and write 1. My 1 didn't. There it goes. Down 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Write 1. 1, 2, 3. Write 1. 1, 2, 3. Write 1. And so on and so forth. Now, where those two intersect, they intersect right here. So that is my intersection point. So that tells me the price of each of those two things. So my P is 4, and my R is 2, because this is the point 2, 4. And that was R, P. So that means that the price per paintbrush is $4 per brush. And this means that it is $2 per roll of tape. Solving that algebraically, let me bring this, oops, hold on, I gotta get onto this. Let me bring this down here. Solving this now algebraically, same way. If I solve this top equation for P, which we already did actually, but we'll do it again. We would subtract 4R that would give me 2P equals negative 4R plus 16, and I would divide everything by 2. That gives me P equals negative 2R plus 8. So now I'm going to substitute. I'm going to take this and I'm going to replace P in the other equation with that. So now that becomes 5. Just writing this all out in one. Times the quantity, negative 2R plus 8. Then I can distribute this 5 into both of those. That gives me negative 10R plus 40. That gives me, if I combine my R's here, that gives me 5R then I can subtract 40. That gives me 5R equaling 10. Then I can divide both sides by 5, and that gives me R is 2, which was good because we had $2 per roll of tape off of our graph. Then I can take this 2 and I can put it back in here, and I can say that this is P equals negative 2 times 2 plus 8. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 8 gets me a p-value of positive 4, which is what we had up there. So our answers are still the same in terms of what we got for our cost per paintbrush and per roll of tape. Your homework tonight is Ready, Set, Go. I don't know what pages it's on, but it's lesson 1. I think it starts with on page 11, I want to say, would be my closest guess. But you're going to do problems 1 through 18.